When the student is ready, the teacher shall appear. Just a few videos back, I had made the statement that the moon is an artificial construct. And that was a very surprising and unscripted statement for me. I don't know where all that came from because I technically am a moon child. I've always been a night person. Um, all of my astrological configurations are of the moon. My rising sign is a moon. I'm a moon sign, a water sign, all that stuff. Um, so when all those words kind of came out, I was a little bit surprised. I was talking about how the sun, how important the sun is, and the sun is is the projection, is the divine source awareness. It is the physical manifestation of divinity in our reality, in our consciousness. And so I made a few statements. The moon is an artificial construct. And literally, I mean, I'm not saying, I mean, I know I've read that before and came across that information, but sort of the vehemence and the sort of passion that I was like denouncing the moon and whatnot, but I didn't quite understand it. And I don't know where all that kind of came from, but it did serve its purpose. However, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and the teacher can come in many forms. And this author, Ivan Antic, and this book, the existence of this book, it just magically manifested uh, in my awareness. Meaning it came to my attention, the synchronicity. All right. And it's the information exactly what I was, I guess, trying to convey. This book, The Moon, which is titled Moon, the Moon Magnet for the Soul, Existence, Consciousness, and Bliss. And if you read these reviews, I mean, over and over again, this book, these reviews from people talk about how this is life changing, et cetera, et cetera. So, but anyway, the more we know about the moon, the more evidence we have that it is an artificial creation. Who made such a grandiose creation and for what purpose? And if it is all for us, who are we and why are we so important to have this colossal project executed just for us? Well, okay, so I did get that book. I got it in Kindle format and immediately started devouring the information and can share some of the information that I've gotten from that book with you, the dear, esteemed, most honorable, and noble viewer. Hit that subscribe button. Um, but essentially, I want you to understand that right now there's a transmutation process taking place with this ascension, this global ascension, which involves everything on this planet. It's essentially a transmutation process. And during this final stage of the great shift, we are humans and our consciousness are being shifted out of the old density. Humanity's base chakras are being reconfigured. Talking about the root, sacral, solar, what I consider the base, the lower three chakras, the negative chakras of that polarity. Not meaning bad, it's just what we had to go through with our learning. So humanity's base chakras are being reconfigured so that the old energies can no longer reside in human bodies. And along that note, to the transmutation process can be greatly enhanced, can be greatly facilitated by invoking the divine violet flame to clear yourself, to clear your family, to clear your friends, so that these old energies can be cleared once and for all. Don't engage the negative polarity at this point, the tumultuousness, the chaos. You must approach it from the top down. Go through the heart, get into your higher spiritual energies, and invoke the divine violet flame to clear and transmute and aid in this process. But essentially, the moon, getting back to the moon, and that book kind of came along at a very synchronous moment. The knowledge has greatly enhanced my gnosis, my understanding. But essentially, the moon functions simply by, and I think I did allude to this in the statements that the moon, that the negative aliens and whatnot. Yes, the moon, that book goes into it, and why I respect that author in particular, because I he's got a lot of books, and I have a couple of other of his books, but he has a book on what the Hindu science of Samkhya, which is essentially, it is essentially reality. It's the Vedic sciences, and so he's a heavyweight. He's a very well respected scholar, and that's how I'm familiar with him. But and then this book on the moon comes along, and it's just like, on top of all the glowing reviews for it, as well as the information and the experience I have with this author's writings, Ivan Antic, um, it just all came together, and it was just like an epiphany moment. But the moon functions simply by enhancing the oppositions, and that's what I was saying in the video. Like, that information was just, I was just kind of free flowing. I was just kind of it was coming out, and I was basically saying that the negative aliens had put the moon in place to slow humans down, and that's essentially, yes, this is what this author says. And I'm quoting from the book. It says the moon functions simply by enhancing the oppositions within humans in their body and psyche and outside of us. By enhancing the male-female polarity, it brings all the temptations in those relationships. How does the moon provide us with the opposition so necessary for development? By veiling the solar consciousness. Because if we were exposed to the sun 24/7, we wouldn't have the conditions necessary for our soul growth. And that is essentially what this is all about, why we've incarnated, because the moon is the key force which connects the soul to the body on planet Earth and brings forth the necessary dynamics, and I'm quoting now from the book, and brings forth the necessary dynamics of oppositions in development. Without the moon, only the consciousness of the soul existed, the solar consciousness. Souls were able to incarnate in the physical body consciously, use all the experiences they wanted to experience consciously, and leave the body consciously. Cycles of incarnations did not exist. It was a one-sided activity without the experiences of its own opposition. So yes, that is what the moon is all about. It is the opposition to the solar consciousness, the power of the divine, the sun, and there again, this is all by divine plan. And even the negative alien agenda, the regressives, the nefarious artificial intelligence hive mind, all of that stuff is simply the negative polarity that is necessary for our growth, to experience all that there is from divine consciousness. And that is what the chakras, and I'm just kind of getting back on track with the gates and the chakras and why, and all that even is synchronous, because this information from Ivan Antic's book, it verifies essentially what the chakra systems are all about. And at one point, with just solar consciousness and the type of humans that had been designed, that we are designer vehicles. These genetic vehicles have been designed by divine aspects of consciousness. Where there's the Enki and the Anunnaki, those are just higher level, higher dimensional consciousness, examples of divine consciousness. We humans have been part of this great experiment of manifesting divinity into matter. And so at one point they decided that further decay must at all costs be stopped. A new beginning must be made. A new drink of Folgers coffee must be had, instant and adequately heated, although at this point it's not so adequately heated. A new human from the genetics of all the lineages descending from Lyra Lyra, the constellation from where humanity sprang forth, must be made. A new human from the genetics of all the lineages descending from Lyra must be made. And this new human should start from scratch in order to learn, to grow, and develop from the basics, to learn to go back to the divine itself through experiencing the consciousness in the human body. This is the true origin of us modern people. All phases in the manifestation of the divine consciousness are packed in our body in the form of chakras, so that we can gradually raise the level of our awareness and our entire being, which is the microcosm. We can become conscious of the divine essence and its manifestations into this world. In such a way, by means of chakras, people are forced to develop through work, and they cannot separate their outward life and work from the state of their consciousness. Essentially, your inner reality, your inner consciousness is reflected in your inner life. If all you care about is food and sex and all that, that's going to be reflected in your outer life. It is all conterminous. Chakras connect consciousness and existence through your actions. The state of human consciousness, while it is still in the body, directly reflects human lifestyle and vice versa. It was the only way to connect the presence of divine consciousness in existence through humanity. Kingdom come, to be made on earth as it is in heaven. Such a consciousness can be realized in humans only, individually and of their own free will, not based on some already acquired knowledge and learning, but only through the individual, always original experiences. Divine never imitates or imposes itself. It is known by pure grace. As a result of free will, it is found that the heart, individually, like love and justice, the heart virtues, loyalty, steadfastness. Therefore, a modern human was created with the goal of starting from the bottom, talking about your root chakra. The chakras are dimensions of consciousness that we've had to go through. Starting from the bottom and going all the way to the top to God knowing through the divine consciousness, through your entire development, which includes the material development, the development of the science and technology, but through the human genetic vehicle. Once again, they are not to do it through the acquired knowledge of your ancestors or magic, but from within themselves, their own experience and work, to rely on their own effort, to learn about science and the secrets of nature. The meaning of a human's life on this planet is to implement the overall awareness and the truth of divine consciousness. The meaning of human life on this planet is to implement source-connected awareness to intelligent infinity and a return to divine consciousness, of spiritualizing matter, of spiritualizing your consciousness while in this genetic vehicle. Traces of former glory and civilizations of the ancient past and cosmic knowledge were hidden away, obscured from us purposely, and a new chapter in the civilizational growth was set in motion. And all that took place about 12,000 years ago when this new human vehicle was created that incorporated this new chakra system for us to go from the ground up and experience all aspects of consciousness through the physical survival and all of that, and through the heart to connect us to the higher chakras and thus to intelligent infinity. So there you have it, folks. Stay tuned. We're going to go through the gate 7 here eventually, getting a new animal friend coming over. And poetically, ironically, this dog's name is Luna. Namaste, namaskaram.